Drama alert on the grand finals of a LAN. We just had a crash. AoE4 crashed harder than NASCAR in this 4th game. Arguments abound about who had the advantage, Marine Lord or Beastie. Marine Lord with a substantial military lead. Beastie with an eco backup. No backup for AoE4 means we are getting a remake in this grand finals. That's right, Marine Lord heads in. Not sure if we'd be happy or not, actually. So I remember reading some opinions on this. I didn't catch the phase. I remember I glanced this at like 25 minutes. I think it ended at 40. At the time, I remember Marine Lord had a substantial military lead and Beastie was boxed in. So my understanding, this went hyper late. Beastie done his classic resource boom. But Marine Lord had a ridiculous military advantage, as Mongols normally do. It was a hard one to call. I'll probably have a look at... I'll probably pull it up. If someone has like a link, a timestamp for it, drop it in the chat towards the end of this game, and we'll maybe quickly open it up on stream, and I'll give my opinions. But for now, we focus on the remake. Marine Lord is leading. If he wins here, he'll be on match point. Beastie has to go and try again. And, you know, this is always a tough thing, right? Regardless of how this one's going to play out when we look at the remake footage, the crash that led to this, the thing you have to keep in mind, we shouldn't even be in a position where we have to have this discussion of remakes. We really shouldn't. But unless it is an emphatic, obvious victory, remake is often going to be just the fair call. It's very tough. Like, I think you have to be at 75, 80% probability of, like, favorability to say default point. Maybe 70% depending on, like, certain formats. But, you know, if you're less than a 70% probability of X winning, you have to go remake, I think. It's just unfortunate. So, that drama aside, how does this one play out? Because Mongols have been looking unstoppable on this map. 4 Lakes in pub games and tournament play. I think they've only been played once here, and they got the dub with the fast imp build. I've been watching a lot of Mongols with these fast imp builds on 4 Lakes, and guys, I'm not exaggerating when I say they can even beat Knights Templar. I've seen that. It is ridiculous how good fast Imperial is for Mongols on this map. The fishing to enable, and with a good gold spawn, the gold to get you there. And this is a good gold spawn. Marine Lord gets it behind the base. Beastie done something different here, by the way. He actually went for a mill with the one villager to get wheelbarrow. Builds into the deer. And it looks like we are going to get him going double dock play. Yeah, 13 on wood. So he's going to look to spread wide. Marine Lord is just focusing on 1 pond, but now shifting out for 2. ML was on like 55 villagers. The problem is, if he was on 55 villagers and had 145 military, then you argue like, okay, it comes down to the micro of the fight, right? And that's always hard to discern. Like, okay, are we just saying it's a meat grinder? They're both equally microed and the guy with more macro wins? Are we saying that this guy is too bad to micro well enough to win that fight? Like, what are we saying? Like, this is the problem. The deeper you get into subjective territory about a remake, the worse your argument becomes. Right? When we cast and we analyze, we talk speculatively about what players will do, and then we pivot to discuss why they didn't do it, why they went a different way. Right? That's fine, because what we're doing is we're trying to anticipate the future, and then we're dissecting why they did or didn't do something. But what you're talking about with whether to remake or give a default win is not predictiveness of the future. It's not anticipating the future. It's not speculating and then drawing back. You're making an emphatic decision. You're making an empirical decision about the outcome of the game. And unless you are, beyond a reasonable doubt, certain of the outcome, one way or the other, how would you call for a default point? Right? You have to set a percentile standard in your mind where it's a default win. I think I said mine's probably about 75%. I think, like, depending on the game state, you're like, yeah, 75% is cracked. 80% definitely. I'm like, okay. But where it gets interesting is, like, I would normally equate that based on who crashed. If the person who's looking for the default win crashed, I'm less likely to give that default win for obvious reasons. Now, the problem here, guys, is this is a LAN. On a LAN, it's not the fault of the players. The technology, all of it is controlled by the tournament organizer. So because people are on equal footing, you can't make the easier decision of a remake or not based on, hey, you're the guy who crashed. So hopefully that kind of like clears things up from a tournament organizer's perspective and adminning perspective a little. And also, to my understanding, I believe on LAN, it wasn't one person making the call. I believe they had a group of people, maybe 4 or 5. They might have even consulted eliminated players. Anyway, focusing on the game now, because we are perfectly timed to be getting into the tech ups. Deerstone's on the way. Other side of it, Skull Cavalry's coming in. It is definitely unfortunate we have to go for remake, so one thing to keep in mind. Sorry, I just said we moved on for it. But like, it's important here that the build orders we're probably going to see towards the end of the game when we check the replay is going to be different here, just because you adapt. And in fact, we literally saw this from Beastie against Anatan, where the opening from Anatan was overwhelmingly successful, and then Beastie pivoted his strategy and moved his hunting cabin closer. It was day and night difference for the other game. Sadly, the reality of playing out AoE 4 and new strategies. But for now, Marine Lord, are we looking at Keshik's? It's going to be Rack's beginning. And I wonder if he goes Keshik's follow-up because you can then start to raid French. Like the walls coming in from Beastie. Makes sense early on. Very heavy investment. And the fishing count, looking good for him. He's 2 ahead currently. That's to be expected, by the way. The thing you have to remember about French is that they basically get like a 50 wood rebate on docks. They build a dock, it's a house as well. So that's 2/3 of the cost of a fishing boat. Spearman now on the way. Is he looking for an output? Okay. Beastie is getting the outpost up. That was worrisome. I didn't even glimpse the spawn. I was like, wait, my brain. We're having this deep discussion about adminning. This was more important. The spears starting to arrive. Beastie in a panic pulls the extra workers. Should be enough to get the outpost up, especially when he just keeps recycling the injured. So Marine Lord will back away for now, but I think this is a commitment. The villager's coming, right? No. No villager just yet. Great scout denial. Beastie, was he chasing the Khan? Kind of futile attempt there. So now riding blind. He does at least have the outpost, and it's going to be double outpost. Okay, so Beastie hunkering down. He's going to look to play Turtle, assuming that Marine Lord is playing all in. Marine Lord, is he going to age up himself? He's got a lot of food in reserve, so it's either that or commitment. There we go. I think he's going Keshik's. Yeah, how's the fishing count looking overall? We've got 19 over here for Beastie. Marine Lord is still trailing by 2. I wonder, will we get any sort of dock sneak? No. Clever boy, Beastie. He's already blocked it. Love this as well. It's a scouting ship. It's still going to gather food, but it's here to stop a dock sneak. Night spam from Beastie. To be expected, like French with double dock. Feels really good, but spear spam as an answer works really well. So Beastie is going to have to pivot now to archers. This wall is a bit awkward. Dock should get denied before archers can arrive, unless he goes archer ship. Yeah, there we go. Galley's now on the way. Still, this many spears, it actually might still set on fire. Really important for decreasing efficiency. You can already see the paranoia. Marine Lord's like, is he defending this? When he sees no defense, he'll probably assume that it's going to be an archer ship. If he splits up the spearmen, he can still get the dock denial. It's just a case of whether it's worth losing like 2 or 3 spearmen to do it. Mathematically, no. Not straight up, but in terms of the value of slowing down fishing, it could be. He backs away. Marine Lord getting ready for the edge up. Yeah, pretty good timing. Keshik switch as well. Keshik's is ideally where you want to be. Got to be careful about knights directly contesting. I do wonder if we'll be getting step readout or Kurtai. Step readout just seems inevitable here. If you go step readout of fishing, you can be in Imperial Age by 17 minutes. And that is too tempting to resist, right? Final gold drop off. Could be forced now. Kurotai would be shocking with this type of army. Yeah. Alright, guys. I think we got a fast imp build. Beastie has been baited into a lot of archers here, by the way. And Marine Lord is now steering into Keshiks. He could even add in just a few horsemen to hold this back. Beastie. He's actually falling back. Does he know about the age up? He's going Steeled Arrow. He's adding in more archers. But he's at least starting to stockpile for an age up. It feels like he's somewhat aware that it's coming. He just doesn't feel like he can dive in quick enough. Especially when he sees the Keshiks, he'll probably be like, oh, wow, my knight count is way too low. I need to back away. Beastie. If he times this right... Wait, no. Marine Lord sees it. If he can get the spears across, he can deny it. He hasn't got an archer ship coming, though. It's going to be a springled ship instead, but this muddies the waters beneficially for Beastie, actually. He needs to be quick about it because it is a tech advantage. As you can see, not for long. Throne ship will be coming out soon. Upgrades on the way for the spearmen, but not for the Keshiks. Crossbowman queued as well. Great way of addressing the night threat. The first spring is going to come out, so that should be enough to scare Beastie off here. He can get into boats himself. Archer ships being queued up. Second dock as well. Beastie is laying claim to this pond. Do or die by this. Does get a worker kill for his troubles, but loses the knight in the affair. And Guildhall? Probably Guildhall from Beastie, right? Yeah. It makes sense. Guildhall on this map makes a lot of sense because the gold typically spawns forward beyond your initial TC. Especially the 8Ks. And if you don't think you're going to have good map control, this is your get out of jail free card. It can be a big one. Definitely takes time, and if you're under pressure, difficult to scale. But like if you get to the true late game, it's just Guildhall gold never really runs out. Archer ship, demo ship. Connection not good. Yeah, so there's this double boat, kills one fishing boat for it. Springhold? That's going to be less than fortuitous. The pond is getting weird, folks. Springhold's going to be able to scare away the demos. He needs more damage if he wants the one-hit kill. But now the Keshik Spearmen are coming in, so that's going to be the end of Beastie's water shenanigans. I'm glad I didn't need to say shenanigans multiple times, otherwise I would have got pistol whipped. Beastie might be able to kill 1-2 Keshiks, which is not too bad of a trade. Wait, what? He goes for the can't? That, for me, is a can't do attitude. Wasted opportunity to kill some extra units there. The Khan is just so hard to kill. 300 HP, remember. And Marine Lord, he will have to contest the remaining Springald ships, but it looks like he's on his merry way towards attack up. Yeah, just needs to sort the food that was harassed on that pond. Double demo is going to be coming in. Beastie with a split. Will be able to protect himself. Mans the sails just to make sure the split is good. And the fishing boat is actually getting harassed. Marine Lord. So he ignores the archer ship. A little bit surprised by that. Means it will be able to carry on through. Okay, and Marine Lord now gets to go back to deep water fishing. The dream. Knights are going to try to pressure the north side. Meanwhile, Marine Lord's army is posturing aggressively. What? While going Imperial, this is unusual behavior. I wouldn't have expected this. Normally when you go Imperial, you play defensive. He's going for relics. Okay, so he's not just hard committing. I like this. I think Beastie invested a lot on that water side. He definitely denied some eco, but didn't ultimately shut it down full. Now the dive Keshiks. But it's just archers. Oh no. Oh, they're in. Arbitrary counter just free. This dive through from Marine Lord. If he just breaks through these archers, the villagers will be exposed. And the arbitrary, but he's microing away the archers, but not the counter to the heavy cav. Crossbows keep diving. Villagers in a panic here, but they're all stacking up. Micro to get him out the other side. Beastie is not doing any counter raids whatsoever. His army is on the way home. But the Keshiks reign supreme in the French base. And chase continues. Spearmen have mostly been invalidated. But Marine Lord, what a read. What a dive. The idle time, the kills alongside it. There's still also workers that he could scalp after this. Even pulls off to try and deal with a few of them now. Crossbows are mostly being cleared. But Beastie, he has 0 crossbows. Knights are going to have to hold this for him. And the grim reality of what's happened here, Marine Lord has reduced him to rubble and now has a free play into Imperial. You couldn't ask for more out of that. Diving the enemy TC, coming out this far ahead, 11 eco up, and still idling out half of Beastie's economy. Marine Lord, just pull the trigger, son. Final drop off there. Karganet Palace, you knew it was coming. The go-to landmark. Even after this commitment, we talked about a 17-minute timing, and would you like to look at the clock? Ticks the box. Oof. Puts Beastie's villagers in a box 6 feet under. Pulls them back over. That's additional worker kills to be had. Marine Lord is going to be merrily on his way to a full advantage play here. Brutal. 39 villages now to 51. New wave of Spear Keshiks clears up the few knights that were still dangling, raiding. No doubt about it. This is now Marine Lord favored. Karganet, Military Academy on the way. Like having a 20-25 eco booster. Has to be the first roll. Probably not ideal here. But considering Beastie's going arbitrary, you won't mind it. Beastie, the guild hall is on food, but only 600. Pretty atrocious. Well, a long way to go. Instead of remaking the same game, just skip the matchup and what default? What you mean? Give them both a point? Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's an interesting alternative. Not sure which players would prefer. Interesting discussion point, but it definitely becomes that becomes very confusing from a visibility standpoint. Like watching it. Well, folks, gold has been denied. Marine Lord has a northern option, though, and he's moving over there. Not just that. Is he doing what I think he's doing? Okay, no. It actually might be. It's Uvu. If he dock drops as well, he can play into, like, Archership plus Bao Chuans. Remember, the Mongols do have those. Beastie still not ready for that age up. Only halfway to what he'd need out of the guild hall, and you're seeing the overexhaustion effect. This is what happens when you add too many fishing boats in. The deep waters are depleted. He doesn't want to go for the corner ones as well because it's so far off, but you're seeing the struggle now. Relic Split is also favoring Marine Lord right now, so even with that out time on the Karganet, or rather on the step readout, he still has decent gold income. Full spear spam. That might be good for Beastie because of Gambeson's tech on Arbitrary, the one that gives them all the melee armor, if he sees it. And my oh my, a red palace claim in the center. Big boy claim. Might work as well because Marine Lord is not looking. No, Marine Lord is trying to steer towards the backup golds, while Beastie snatches the crucial one. A lifeline for the Serb, a vital one at that. Double Sacred Site also locked in? No. Decap free. Knights into the base. Or a horseman. Soon to be elite horseman. And this is a crucial landmark. Could you imagine if right now Marine Lord rolled a Hui Hui Pao? No, like, guys, come on, chill. He doesn't need it because he's blowing up buildings. But seriously, after he kills this guild hall, could you just imagine if he rolled, like, a Hui Hui Pao? Right now? I had to try. Magadai is going to be coming out. God, could you imagine right now? I would be molding about that. Nesta B shot's coming in, though, and that's denial of food. Beastie, he just lost his guild hall, remember? He's at risk of losing one of his pawns. Ay. Marine Lord knows that Beastie can't fight him right now. The only thing that Beastie has is static defenses. Static means it cannot move, folks. That's a problem, because Beastie, remember, when you play 4 lakes, you play wide. You have to get onto the pawns. Horseman just able to scare away these knights as well. It looks like he doesn't want to go into the text for them. Instead, it's a hand cannoneer switch. Okay, interesting choice into Nesta Bees, but the count isn't crazy. It's just 2 so far. Oof. That is going to stifle your ability to do so, though. All docks now denied. Confused little fishing boats. 14 eco not working for Beastie in the game where he's already 10 behind. Sacred Site decap on the north side, just to strip away any extra gold. Beastie. He's trying to enter the base. SCBs would be a good target point here. Body blocks from the villagers unintentionally, as they try to seek shelter, but the knob, the horsemen, are they going to get there just in time? No. So Nesta Beast goes down. Still a bit of an expensive dive. The traction tread would be a big one, though, so he does get the kill there. Well played. Beastie now outnumbered. Yeah, he slowed down this timing, right? Like, his big fear is if the red pass dies, he dies. Getting rid of the traction trebuchets gives you more game. But remember, folks, there's a camp on here. The knights are blocking the redock. Which means that Beastie has not got much food. No, he's sitting about, what, like 10 fishing boats, maybe? He's also, I think, actively gathering boar and deer just to compete. Meanwhile, Marine Lord still got a comparative food income, and he just gets things for free. Doc, it's not going to go back up. Wait, are you kidding me? A 19 HP knight. Come on. So Doc gets denied. 2 villagers down. And the traction trebuchets have now arrived. We've also got the Pax Mongolica on the way, just to make sure the outpost can't die. I mean, how do you sustain here? You know, you're like, okay, it's just traction trebs until it's a Hui Hui Pao. He's still camping this. You know, at least Beastie realizes, backs away. Horseman not able to get in. I mean, Lord needs to slow down. You don't really want to be diving this. The Red Palace is a miracle worker. Horseman gonna deny miracles. That's wood access now gone. Beastie does not have any real gathering. He's got, what, 2 workers over here. And that means he's out of wood. True damage now to be done onto the Red Palace. At least he got it up to full HP. Tippity top shape. Horseman eventually to be cleared. Gold, still half here. Beastie, his issues are elsewhere, though. It's the wood, it's the food that are going to kill him. Never repaired the guild hall, by the way. Couldn't afford to keep anyone back here to defend against these knights. Everything is on this Red Palace to win the game for him. If it goes down, the Mongol horde shall come roaming. Beastie, he's just not been able to get that wood back online quite quick enough here. Red Palace, down to 1,000 HP. It's about to be on fire. And Marine Lord awaiting with the dive. The hand cannoneers have to step up. Flash coming in. Spinal placements are going to be there. The Nesta Bees would be big, but the Horseman even bigger. He doesn't even let him have that moment. The Red Palace comes clambering down. And Marine Lord will win the remake. All right. We're going to check in on the remake. So give me a second here. All right, here we go. So this was version number 1. This was before the remake. We're going to have a look at it here and then give our opinions. So, looking at map control, Beastie's walled in. He has good reserves. Marine Lord is lacking on the food. Plenty of gold in reserve as well, though. Horseman count pretty high. The hand cannon count by Beastie is pretty spooky, but there are some nested beasts to keep him honest there. No Sacred Site timer ticking. It's a big military lead, though, right? Marine Lord's at 65 eco, but Beastie's only at 88. When you add in the Cargonet, like, they're not that far apart. And that was the crash. Dude, like, they're both unhappy. Yeah, it's not even like a, hee hee, I done it. So, looking at the minimap now, we can, like, enhance. I don't know, I can't be bothered to do that right now. Maybe my editor will do it later. You've got fishing. It's only so much. He wasn't reliant on deer or boar. It looks like he was just getting this off of fishing food income. I would say, and I'd have to watch the rest of the game, but if you gave me the glance of picture, I do love the idea of going into these robotic ones, but like it's problematic, right? Like your opponent has got hand cannoneers, which are good at sniping them, and nested bees as well. So I don't think like the roboties are like itigigi. Also, Beastie, this idea that he has like crap tons of gold in reserve, I'd have to see the guild hall because right now he's at 400 gold income without gold access, trying to play mass siege. It's like there's shaky details there, right? Once again, the problem with these type of situations is you look at this and you're like, hey, you know, like he's got an advantage. Even if you felt he had an advantage, the thing I'd ask people in that moment is, did Beastie have like an 80% advantage? And apparently the commentary said he just pulled the guild hall. If he just pulled the guild hall, then yeah, he doesn't have great gold reserves. Could Beastie potentially win that game from that position? Yes, that's the beauty of Age of Empires 4. You can win almost any game, right? Within reason. Do I think that was like an 80-20 advantage? No. With the siege transition up against like massed horsemen, and I think his red palace was towards the Sacred Site, so he can block a Sacred Site victory. I would say like Beastie has ways of winning those fights convincingly with like mass mango adjustable crossbars, but I don't think we covered the mark where it's a default win. Like, if I had to put a number on it, Marine Lord Cargonet adds in like what? Is it 2,000 1,500, 2,000 resources? He's competing with Cargonet, right? The comp-wise, I'd favor Beastie, but we're still probably talking like maybe 60, 65 if you want to be generous, right? I would say the remake was warranted. The thing I'd say to people is that it's a shame that our glorious game is in a point where we have lands that have to do remakes like this. It's not on the tournament organizer. It's not on the players. At the end of the day, the high-ups at Microsoft need to warrant these changes. If they believe the esports scene in AoE 4 is worth investing in, which they invested in this LAN, they invested in all these different events, then what we need is a reconnect function. We need a remake function for when crashes happen for competitive play. A snapshot take and then a remake. The problem is on the back end, that's going to take big technical changes. So the prayer here is that Relic is working on something, that they've been recontracted and we see it. But yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments, guys. A crazy one here. It means the Marine Lord is now 3-1 up, 1 game away from victory. A frustrating game. Knowing like the players that they are, like I think neither one's going to be happy about this. And maybe we'll even see a little bit of tilt, but we go on. Marine Lord now 3-1 up, 1 away from being the chimp for the 2nd time this year. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next chapter.